Good morning, and it's another fabulous day in paradise. And I am really excited because very shortly I'm going to be getting my arse into a new Jaguar iPace electric vehicle thing, which was marketed as a 5-seater sports car, and it does 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds or something ridiculous. Now, I haven't driven a Jaguar more modern than 2007, and I've never driven any sort of electric vehicle unless you count a milk float and a Sinclair C5. So this is going to be fun.
The YouTube channel's not any good, but he's a nice guy. Sorry, Mr. Boaty.
To make YouTube videos with...
Oh. You had me at YouTube videos. Let's go, Boaty.
Here you've got heated seats.
Yeah.
Not that we need them today. Ventilated seats.
Oh, well, that's nothing new. I had that on...
It's the first time I've had them.
Oh no, I had them on a 2006 Mondeo Gear X.
They're alright. No, I've never had vented seats before. They're quite nice. So, gearbox.
Don't do this now, because
Well, no, it's... Okay.
don't walk me through anything now. We'll do it.
Right.
Have we started?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need your directions to...
Okay, this is super weird.
There's a horse behind me. Massive horse.
Okay, just keep going through the village.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I picked up last Monday.
Oh yeah, so that's 620.
623.
Ooh. That's the... It's still a 4-cylinder, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's alright, if I lift my foot off the brake,
Shit.
I'm not touching anything, and you see you've got charge and power.
Yeah. Ah, okay. That's ridiculous.
And it will actually come to a halt.
Blimey.
So that's the one pedal driving. You can change that so it's normal, you know, just braking acceleration, but I'm trying this because I'm going to Scotland later this week.
Yeah, you said, yeah.
It's very relaxed, isn't it?
It is. Firm.
Yeah.
That is the oddest sensation.
No gears or anything, it's just
The oddest sensation.
left.
It's like being and left at that too. It's like being on one of those electric trains. Those
Yeah.
really high powered, super quick electric trains.
You can hear like the motor whine a bit, but
Yeah.
fox and goose, I didn't realise you were that close to it. That's a great little pub, that.
That's my local.
Yeah.
Never been there.
It's your most local, but I used to do a steak night on a Thursday at that place. And you have a small fillet or a larger ribeye. And it's just like a conveyor belt of steaks that they would do that night, but they were really, really good.
And you're chucking a right.
just enough room, isn't it? It's a fair old size.
Oh, yeah. And we're going right. So this is permanent all-wheel drive, yeah?
Yeah, so it's dual motor, I think.
Yes, that's right. I read
Yeah.
that. I read that. Oh, a bit of overtaking there. And we're going left.
Okay. Just covering the brake. Is that recording?
Yeah.
Right, let me just put this into dynamic.
Dynamic.
Yeah. Don't know if there's a launch control, but if I it's on hold.
Oh, holy fuck! Ah! Ben coming up.
That's fine. That was 80.
Fucking hell, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have swung.
You can bleep it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's brisk.
Can do it again. Without
Yeah, go on.
swearing.
Yeah.
That's quite a straight. So again, in dynamic mode, so I think that's a sporty. Don't think there's launch control.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hold tight.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay, that is ridiculous. That's ridiculously quick.
And the fact it gets that quick with no gear changes.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. It's the oddest sensation. Gosh,
Yeah.
the closest, for those of you who have yet to have the chance to drive or be driven in something like this, the only, left at the end, the only thing I can think of to compare it to is there was a roller coaster at Alton Towers. Rita, Queen of Speed, was it?
Yeah.
And that had one of those push mount starty offy thingies.
Yeah, it's magnetic launch or something, was it?
Yeah.
Electromagnetics. Yeah.
And that is the sort of sensation that you're getting in this.
That's sub 5 seconds, 0 to 60.
I'm not unused to a quick car, but
that sense of
It's-
linear acceleration, isn't it?
it's a completely different sensation to any vehicle. My goodness me. It's quite addictive, isn't it?
That, yeah. I mean, I'm petrol head.
Yeah.
I could get used to that sort of fun.
Now, on a sense of exhilaration or fun, how does that compare with a full bore takeoff in your TVR?
Different.
Yeah.
So you've got the noise and the tyres and all of that, the traction with the TVR, but with this, because it's all electronic and torque from instant RPM, it's a very different sensation.
And let's remember, we are sitting in a large, comfortable family four-wheel drive SUV.
Yeah. I mean, this must be what? The thick end of 2 ton, if not more.
Yeah. Right at the end.
Okay. The Big Dipper Marathon.
Well, that's a new one on me.
Apparently the road's closed. Oh, Don't they know who we are?
Exactly. That's probably close for us.
Private road. You know what that means.
Just on the right here. Hoonery. Here.
Silly Toad Woods. Oh, look at the little MGB.
Right, you can plonk. How about plonking it in there?
Yeah, I was just thinking that's a nice little parking bay for us. That's lovely.
I would guess that's going to be.
That's a 66, is it?
I think it's a bit. I think that's
Well,
not an original plate.
I was going to say, 'cause mine's a.
I reckon it's a 69.
I was going to say, 'cause mine's on a D, and that's 65. Alright, we're in. And we're off.
Say it again.
Mary had a little lamb.
There we go, let's have a look. This is a Jaguar iPace. A Jaguar iPace 400 HSE black. And this is the man who has brought it. He's a very tall man. He has been specially elongated for your pleasure. So, this is my friend Steve, and you've met Steve before, remember? This is the guy with the big, hairy bottom TVR and the ridiculously small and ridiculously cute 1965 Fiat 500, a Sicilian left-hand drive import. And some of you will have had the dubious pleasure of watching myself, 6'5", and my friend Steve, 6'7", driving together in one of the world's smallest cars. But my question is this: what are you, a dedicated petrol head, doing with this electrical milk float?
It was free.
Oh, well, can't argue with that.
No, my Ford Ranger has got a turbo hose problem.
Right.
And like most cars at the moment, parts are on back order. So I've got this as a temporary replacement for a Ford Ranger Wild Track.
Right.
From a 2-litre twin turbo diesel to a I don't know, washing machine. A very fast, expensive washing machine.
It is, well, it's certainly very fast. How expensive is it?
This one is just over 70,000 resale.
Right. That's how a dog should look after a walk, isn't it? All muddy and happy and panty.
No.
Found every bit of filth. She's actually clean now to what she was.
Oh, bless her.
We found the river and got her in that. She was the colour of her.
Oh, she's had the time of her life, bless her.
She will wet hose pipes on her when she gets home.
I love hose pipes as well.
That was good, I think. So I guess.
Yeah, do a little talk around what I know about it and how it came about, and where do you want to start back from? I know you can edit this, so I can say fucking bollocks and twat all I want, can't I?
Oh yeah, I'll probably leave them in. Okay, well, I have not driven a Jaguar of any description more modern than my old X-Types and S-Types. And the only electric vehicles of any description I've ever driven were literally a milk float and a Sinclair C5. So I know less than nothing about this vehicle or these type of vehicles. Maybe you know slightly more than me, or maybe you don't.
A little bit more. So electric vehicles are obviously the way everything's going, whether we like it or not. Whether it's the long-term future of automotive is probably a discussion for another day, but certainly it's where everything's pointing at the moment. There is a lot of range anxiety issues,
Yeah.
but this has been on our fleet now for about 18 months, and it's according to the data, it's averaging about 270 miles for a full charge.
Right.
Which for a car of this size and power and performance isn't unreasonable. Realistically, how often are you going to do more than 270 miles in a day without a break?
Yes. Yeah.
So the big test is going to be later this week. Me and the missus are doing a road trip to Scotland for 4 days in this.
Right. Okay. That's going to be interesting.
It is.
Have you checked out places en route which allow A, electric charging, and B, offer hot sausage rolls?
The former, yes. The latter, not quite into that depth yet. We've got an app through work, a company called ChargePoint have installed our charge points at work, and the app shows where various charging points are between here and Edinburgh and the other places we're going. I don't think it's going to be an issue finding somewhere to charge up. What I think might be an issue is, are those charge points taken, or are they working? That's what I keep hearing a lot. People turn up at charge points and they're not working. But I'm going to give it a go. I'm open-minded about it.
It'll be an adventure.
It will, and who can refuse being given a 70 grand Jag to go to Scotland for a few days in?
I can't argue with that. I
So-
certainly wouldn't. Well, speaking of 70 grand Jags, let's have a look around it, shall we?
Okay.
Let's just make sure we got okay, well, as I say, I know less than nothing about these, so that's quite a good point to start from. So what I can see is that, to me, it looks like one of those tremendously modern, sporty type SUV vehicles, but it was actually marketed from the off as a 5-seater sports car.
I believe so, yeah. It's not quite the same size as an E-Pace or an F-Pace, which is more traditional SUV sort of size. I don't know if we've got anything else in our fleet range that is comparable to this. We've either got small electric Hyundais, Kias, things like that, or we've got the big BMW iX things, which again are just like a 4x4 estate car, and this does sit somewhere in the middle. It's like some sort of crossover. Yeah, I'm distracted by that. So
It's MG day today, isn't it? Go. Right, well, let's operate one of these rather impressive door handles and have a look inside. That is a fantastically operating door. That is how a door should sound when it opens and closes. Okay, well, at first glance, this appears to be a ultra modern, very well appointed, expensive luxury car. We can see that there are perforated leather seats, which are electrically operated and are heated and cooled. There's an excitingly chunky There's an excitingly chunky multifunctional steering wheel or collision avoidance disc. And point that at me.
Okay, like that.
And no, other way around. You're pointing it at you.
Oh, okay. Right with you.
And passengers in the rear of the car don't miss out on the luxurious touches either. As long as the front seat is moved into a position where only a midget could comfortably sit in it, then a very large man can sit in the rear in absolute comfort. There is an armrest, and the only piece of technology with which I'm personally familiar are these two cup holders just here. In front we've got completely separate air conditioning arrangements for the rear passengers, and we've got 12 volt doings, and where's the ashtray? Where's the ashtray?
You don't smoke in a car like this.
Ah, right.
You don't need an ashtray for vaping.
Oh, of course, yes, man. And there is a full-length panoramic glass roof thing, which I quite frankly don't understand. What is it?
It's glass, just makes it look a bit brighter, but it's tinted glass, so it doesn't make it much brighter at all.
So it doesn't open or anything
No.
like that? It's not a sunroof?
No, it's just a glass roof.
Oh, right, okay. With the sloping roofline, then, you could imagine that were you not to have that glass roofed arrangement, it could feel a little claustrophobic to the rear, but, well, it just doesn't, really. I could get used to this.
Yeah, it's a decent size. Decent size for...
Yeah, because this wouldn't qualify as a large car, would it?
I
In
don't-
this type of thing,
No,
this would be
I don't think it's much bigger than, say, a Golf inside. Or maybe a bit bigger, but not a huge difference.
But when we actually clamber inside and get to grips with the internal doings, things become a lot less familiar. Certainly to me. Okay, I think that's cruise control. I can cope with that. Settings for the onboard gramophone. I can cope with that. Where do you put the key? The dashboard display is completely, well, it's uber digital. I mean, it's got pictures. It's basically an in-car cinema, and it's telling me all sorts of things that well, that I don't really understand. I actually wouldn't know how to start this car. The rear view mirror is actually a rear facing camera. There's a full widescreen video. Oh.
That comes up, no. Just go back to...
There's a full widescreen cinema setup in the center console there that presumably does all sorts of clever things. Oh, hello. What's that?
Review camera.
Oh, right. Okay, so that's showing us another rear view in case we weren't entirely happy with that one. What else can it do, Steve?
I've no idea. I've been finding settings and doing doings,
Okay.
playing with the usual stuff.
Oh, right.
sound
All
and stuff.
sound, yeah.
Um,
Connectivity,
Yeah.
profiles, apps.
you don't get this on a TVR.
No, you don't. You don't get it on a 2005 Land Rover Freelander either. So we've got navigation, phone, media, and then if we go a little bit further down, there's yet another screen, and I think this is all to do with climate control, heat seating, seat heating, seat cooling. There are pictures of androgynous humanoid figures for your viewing pleasure. I think the question on every right-thinking person's mind would be, can you get the arches on this vehicle? Steve is now on a mission to see if he, an intelligent man, can plumb this vehicle into Radio 4. Let's see how he gets on. Oh, he's going to DAB radio. He's going to stations.
And we've got lots and lots of country music. Yorkshire country music, that's going to be
Interesting.
niche.
Resistible, I would have thought.
Radio 4.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Offices, including coming down at 2 o'clock in the morning.
There you go. We have achieved Radio 4.
With minimal fuss. Let's see who... Oh, we don't have any favourites.
So down here we've got some settings for traction control-y type stuff.
Sports dynamic comfort mode in there.
There we are. And over here we've got the settings for the gearbox, which it doesn't have because this vehicle doesn't have a gearbox as such.
Forwards,
Forwards,
backwards,
backwards.
freewheel.
Okay. Oh, that's quite simple.
Yeah.
An old school sunglasses holder. It's not all brand new technology. Some things, if they're not broke, don't fix them.
But we also have...
What's that? What are they?
That's your SOS button.
SOS button.
Yes.
So what happens when you press those? Is it an ejector seat? Does the roof slide back and you get catapulted out of the vehicle?
No, you speak to a woman on the other end of the phone who says, "How can I help?"
Oh gosh. Okay. That's a new one on me. And up here by the sun visors, we've got speakers.
So at the moment we've got 66% battery, 142 miles range. Predicted range with my driving, 212 miles for a full charge, but I have been using that sort of launch control thing to, which obviously does deplete the battery somewhat.
You've been hoofing it basically. You've been hooning around like a lunatic.
I've been testing some of its capabilities, yes.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah. That I think shows the energy flow, whether you're driving, whether you're braking, whether it's regenerating braking.
Okay.
And then with charging, there's a couple of different types. If you leave it plugged in to your wall charger, it can either charge straight away if you need to get going. It can do smart charging, which is, it will work out what time you need to leave. So if you've got it plugged in overnight and linked up to your Android Auto, it knows that you need to be somewhere at 9 o'clock tomorrow, it will start charging in the middle of the night to ensure that you've got a full battery at the point that you leave. And then low cost, if you're on a split tariff billing, it will charge up only at the cheapest point in the night.
Okay.
Now bear in mind that if you plug this into a 3-pin charger at home, it'll take 48 hours to fully charge. If you plug it into a fast charger, it will go from 0 to 80% charge in about half an hour.
Gosh.
And 80% charge will get you about 200 miles.
Right. So, you know, that sounds pretty practical to me.
I think a lot of it is just changing the mindset of how do you refuel your car. Instead of purposely going to a petrol station, you just have to plan journeys around it a little bit better. But we will find out when we go to Scotland later this week.
You will indeed. Now, given time, I'm sure I could work out how to start this vehicle, if that's what you do with an electric car. But it makes more sense to get Steve to walk us through it on the basis that, well, he drove it here, so presumably he knows what he's doing. Let's have a look.
Okay, there's two very important buttons to remember. One is the brake, put your foot on the brake. And second is the start stop button.
Well, hang on, before we get that far, what about putting the key in and turning the ignition on?
There is no key or ignition to plug in, it's just all electronic. The key is just sat.
So do you have to press anything to get the vehicle prepared to start?
Foot on the brake, stop start, it's ready to go.
Okay.
And then select forwards, backwards or freewheel.
So have you started it?
Yes.
What, it's running now?
Yes.
I heard no, there was no aural change.
Because
So,
board.
okay, how do you know it's running? How do you know you've started it?
You've got
What changed?
Charge and power is on there. It shows us it's in park. If I turn it off again, and then we've just got that.
Oh,
basic
okay, so
screen.
it's like a home screen, a lock screen sort
So
of thing.
if I take my foot off the brake and hit start,
Yeah.
that's the same as ignition on in the car. So it's telling me that doors are open and
Oh,
I need to
okay.
press the brake pedal.
Right.
But once I press my foot on the brake,
Yeah.
you'll watch up here. That's it on.
So that's it started and it's ready to pull away.
Yes.
Okay. And then you simply select drive.
Yep. Forward, backwards, or freewheel. But it won't let me because the doors are open. It's telling me that.
Oh, it won't let you drive off with the doors
I
open.
don't think so.
Oh.
Let's try. No. Close the door, buckle seatbelt, remove park brake.
Oh my God, nanny state, you're not
So
allowed to drive.
I'm trying to put my accelerate. Watch the front just lift up.
Oh yeah,
So it won't let me drive with the doors open. So
right.
that's to prevent drive-by shootings.
Is it really?
Have we had any drive-by shootings since the Jaguar iPace has been released?
Well, I haven't personally.
There you go. It works.
Thank you, Jaguar.
Yeah, the only turning point down there is the junction, so I thought to come past the camera first back.
Should we do a takeoff? Yeah. Okay, my lovelies, the moment of truth. I am actually going to attempt to drive this thing, and I'm just reaching for the keys to put the keys in, and I don't do that, do I?
No.
I need to put my seatbelt on.
Yeah, close the doors because it doesn't let you do anything with
Doors is closed.
the doors open.
Right, I've got no lights or anything on the dash, so
Foot on the brake,
foot on the brake.
and start stop.
Still nothing on the dash, nothing to see at all. I've just got an empty sea of blackness. There's nothing to indicate that this car is ready to start. But I'm assured if I press this button, oh,
There you go.
and it says ready. Okay, this is weird. So I presume the parking brake is automatic.
Yep, just put it in forwards.
So I select drive.
Yep. And that's it. You'll see on the little green hold, so that's
Little
like
green hold, yeah.
temporary parking brake. So
I'm off the brake now,
we are in 1 foot driving mode.
and I'm creeping forward.
Yep. Just don't stomp on it because it will launch.
Say that again.
Do you want me to put it into normal driving mode so you can get used to it?
What mode it in at the moment? Go faster.
No, 1 foot driving mode, so that you're basically, you don't need to use the brake.
No, let's leave it. I want the full regenerative experience.
Okay.
So you were telling me, oh, I've got a little amber light in the mirror. What's that all about?
I've not worked that out. It's a blind spot thing, so it will tell you if a car's approaching in your blind spot, but I don't know why the orange light is on quite so often.
So basically, this 1 foot driving, Steve was explaining it to me. The settings are set to full regenerative.
Right.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah.
So basically, when you come off the accelerator, you get what is effectively engine braking, and that is actually charging up the twin HP7 batteries. They're not really HP7s. Okay, this is very bizarre. There's no sound.
No, there's not.
Oh, and I touched the brake. That's going to take me a while to get used to. Right, I'm creeping. I am going to have to put my foot on the brake.
You just want to get used to it. You'll sort of learn that.
It feels like I'm trying to do. A jump start. And we're off. I'm doing it. My first drive of a modern electric vehicle, and I can say it's markedly different to the Sinclair C5. Right?
Yeah, I can imagine.
I'm going to be brave and take it on the big scary road. Or more to the point, Steve is going to be brave. He's going to let me take it onto the big scary road. Breathe in. Man with glasses. That's a point to me. So if I come off the throttle now,
It'll start braking.
oh my God,
Yeah,
that is extraordinary.
isn't it?
Just taking your foot off the throttle in this regenerative mode is like braking quite sharply. That's extraordinary.
So once you get used to the progressiveness of that brake, I mean, you can see the corner coming up now on the left. You just ease off the accelerator slightly. It'll gradually just bring you down to that speed.
Okay, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. This actually makes for better driving. And I'm sure it's also better for all sorts of things. It's giving you charge into your batteries.
It's more mechanically sympathetical.
Exactly. Not so much wear on tyres and brakes, yeah.
But it also teaches you to drive, dare I say it, properly by looking ahead and anticipating what's happening. So you can see there's another left-hand bend coming up there.
Yeah. I'm coming off the throttle and look at that. Look at that. That was just lifting off the throttle. I didn't touch the brake pedal, my foot is nowhere near it.
And if you had lifted off a little bit easier, it would have just slowed down just as if you were on the brake.
This is extraordinary. But extraordinary in a good way. I love this.
I wasn't certain to start with, but certainly the drive out here from this morning out to you.
I'm starting to get the hang of it now. Nowhere near the brake. Yeah. Right, I did not touch the brake there, and I've come to a stop at the T-junction, and I'm good to go. And we just waft away on an electrical glide of not inconsiderable power. I'll put the window up because there's going to be a bit of
bit choppy,
a bit of noise, and I imagine that the air conditioning will be fully charged on this vehicle. Again, not touching the brake. Not touching the brake. That is extraordinary. So this 1 foot driving really is a thing you can genuinely do you could probably do a complete journey never having to touch the brake pedal.
Well, I told you about my little challenge about how far along Snake Pass can you get without touching the brakes.
Yes, yeah, and you're going down Snake Pass, I imagine, rather than...
Yeah, I'll do it both ways, but there is certain points where, yeah, you've got to brake.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it in this later in the week. I reckon I can get end to end without touching the brakes. I think it'd be far too easy than this.
I tend to agree. Okay, cyclist, brow of a hill. I need to come to a crawl, and again, I'm actually feathering the throttle.
Yeah.
I was nowhere, not remotely near the brake.
Not that you can see it on the camera, but I can vouch for it that your left foot hasn't moved and your right foot is just in the same position.
Yeah. Now, quite apart from the elastic trickery nature of things, this is a supremely comfortable car to drive. I feel absolutely, I need one of these. I need to become slightly more famous so that I can just email Jaguar and say, hello, I'm Boaty, I'm very famous. I'd like one of these, please.
Don't you know who I am?
Yes, absolutely. Now, there's a lot of dashboard in front of me, and there is absolutely no bonnet, and I can't see any corner of the car.
It will tell you there's things that beep if you get too close to stuff.
I'm sure, yeah, I imagine
But
that there
again,
would be.
it's like any car. You'll get used to where the front is and
Of course,
where
yeah.
the wheels are.
This is very, very pleasant to drive indeed. The
Little Elise.
yeah, little K series. The ride is firm but compliant. The noiseless sensation is actually wonderful.
As much as we all enjoy a good exhaust noise
Yeah.
and a bit of engine screaming,
Yes.
this ain't so bad, is it?
It's.
This is why I like having a selection of cars, because
Exactly.
they serve different purposes. I like my Ford Ranger because, yeah, it's big, it's chunky, it's four-wheel drive, all the rest of it, but it's got huge amounts of power, automatic. If I'm doing a lot of miles, the last thing I want to be doing is constantly changing gear and all of that.
Yeah.
I just want it to drive nice and easy, and that's exactly what this is. It's effortless driving.
It really is, and I could become very addicted to this very quickly indeed.
Yeah, you need to do a few launches yourself first, though.
Oh, I intend to. I intend to. Again, my right foot has not altered position. This is extraordinary. I mean, again, apart from the electric nature of things, we are in a £70,000 Jaguar, and of course that means that the cabin is a very, very pleasant place to be
Just
indeed.
nice materials, and
Yeah.
it's just well thought out, it's comfortable.
And it seems
feels-
incredibly well put together. I mean,
Yeah.
this feels more, I can't think of the right word, but if I could, I would say this feels more like it than any other car I've experienced, really. And again, I must preface all of this, nowhere near that brake pedal. This is extraordinary. I am coming at this from the point of view of somebody who's not driven anything remotely modern, so this is quite extraordinary. What's happening here?
Okay,
I
left.
can just whiz
Yeah.
over here.
You going for a launch?
Oh yeah. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Oh! Oh my God!
You're hesitating.
Yeah, I'm not, yeah.
It does take a little bit of getting used to, doesn't it?
I'm not entirely comfortable with going as far down that route as you definitely didn't do. You definitely did not do any sort of speed that could in any way be termed
irresponsible.
Sublegal. Oh!
It's those numbers on the dashboard in front of you when they don't count up in ones, do they?
No. This is, of course, a fully digital dashboard, and there are no analog needles here.
Yeah, I watched it go from like 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 40.
Oh, that looked a bit exotic. What's
Is that a Corvette?
I think it was a McLaren.
Oh, so the back disappeared.
And again, I've come to a complete halt downhill with my foot feathering the accelerator. That is revelationary. I mean, this is
It's the future.
Well,
It genuinely is.
and I'll be honest, I want to be part of this future. I am too poor, but I would have one of these in a heartbeat. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing to drive. Now, I must say that I would like to make it a mission to drive a cheaper electric car and see if the sensations are the same when you're driving. I've got no clue on electric car
25,
prices.
30 grand for an entry-level one.
Right, so yeah, it would be interesting to drive one that's less than half the price of this and see just how similar everything is.
Also, I'll see. I know we've got some MGs at work, some Hyundais, Konas, and a few bits and pieces like that. So I'll try and get hold of one for a weekend just to.
That would be fabulous. And this is why Steve is now my new best friend. I mean, Steve has been a friend for 20 years, but I've just promoted him. Mustard, move over.
Sorry, Paul.
The rear view mirror, or rear view camera, is extraordinary. Crystal clear.
Nikki the other night pointed out that it's weird that sat from the passenger seat you can see what's happening in the rear view mirror. This would be a perfect driving instructor car.
Yeah. Now, I was planning to pull in there to the lay-by so that we could swap over, because we're heading to McDonald's to get a spot of lunch, and I don't want to drive a £70,000 vehicle through a McDonald's drive-thru. But I'm not going to swap over just yet because I'm enjoying this too damn much.
And it's a YouTube cliche, isn't it? You have to take your car through a McDonald's drive-thru.
Oh, well, this is a new one on me. But I'm very willing to embrace it. I don't get the chance to do that because Mustard is very heavily anti-McDonald's.
I'm not great at McDonald's, but
oh, I love a cheeky McDonald's.
I like a Dirty Greggs. That's a weekly treat for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Honestly, sometimes I'll just have a pack of 4 sausage rolls and inhale them.
Oh my god.
The steak bakes are like the chicken baked, but sometimes they're just nuclear hot and you can't eat them and enjoy them at the same time. It's like it's like walking over hot coals but with your mouth.
I need to introduce you to the concept of waiting.
I've heard that patience is a virtue, but
yeah, virtues are overrated, aren't they? I like a nice vice.
What, like a clamping vice?
No, vice with a C.
Like hookers?
Oh yeah. Who doesn't like a dirty girl? That's something else I need to become a famous YouTuber for.
What, test driving hookers?
Go into the local brothel. Do you know who I am? This is just a sublime driving experience. Oh, could you do me a favour?
Mm-hmm.
Remind me to edit out the bit about hookers.
That'll be on the Patreon channel for subscribers only.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, I'll put all the offcuts into a channel members only. And channel memberships are now available for a very affordable 99p per month. Are you a channel member, Steve, my friend of over 20 years?
We can edit this bit out as well, can't we?
But answer came there none. I think that answer speaks for itself.
I pay $11.99 for my YouTube Premium subscription.
Oh, do you? Ah, in that case, you are then forgiven. Because I get a share of that.
Yes, you do. So I don't have any adverts to skip through, but it does mean that I can get a full, sort of uninterrupted injection of Boaty on a fairly regular basis.
God, that sounds like something you need treatment for.
Therapy.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
God, this is so nice.
It's just, yeah, it's probably not the sort of car you'd want to take out for a spirited drive into the hills.
Oh, I don't know.
Or is it? I don't know.
I think it is. I think it absolutely is.
Could be.
I mean, as I said at the beginning of the video, this was marketed as a 5-seater sports car, and I totally get that. Oh, this is...
It's a revelation.
It's genuinely a revelation. This 1-foot driving thing, my God, who wouldn't want that?
It's like the next step on from an automatic.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. I wish I'd said that.
It's like I'm trying to convince a father-in-law after 40, 50 odd years of driving manuals that at your age you don't want to be changing gear and clutching and all that sort of stuff. Just let the car do the work for you.
I've just thought of something, and this 1-foot driving is very much like the future of the automatic, and I thought of that. I didn't copy anybody else much.
You're just going to edit the bit right at it first. Another one for the Patreon channel, for the subscribers.
Right, now, I know you, and I know that you have the same feeling about driving as I do. It's something that you would and do for pleasure.
Yeah.
Why are you not thinking about buying one of these? Like immediately, tomorrow, or having one as your company vehicle?
Because I've just taken on a Ford Ranger for 12 months, so I'll have that until next spring-ish. But I could well be tempted after this. The other things we've got at work is the new BMW iX, which is the big electric BMW, which a few of my colleagues have got them. I'm not going to lie, I still like my dirty diesel. Still that little bit of 50-year-old rebel in me that likes to go against the grain.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
But don't get me wrong, this is just a nice place to be. This reminds me actually of my Range Rover that I used to have. It's just a lovely place to sit. It's just, you could drive to the moon and back in comfort. It just got that feeling about it that...
You've never been married, have you?
No.
And yet, I have, of course, and divorced. And although you've not been married, then that Rover gave you the same experience that my divorce gave me. One moment you had money, the next minute you didn't.
And when it was, and when it was working well, you didn't want to be anywhere else.
No.
But it's that bit when it was working well.
Yes.
It was just, yeah.
Oh, I love this so much.
It is just very, very relaxed, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, now, I've got to be honest. Obviously, I'm getting a snapshot of what life with this vehicle would be. And I'm probably seeing all of the best bits. The quiet, the comfort, the refinement, the luxury. In order to get a full picture, I would have to experience...
a couple of days and long journeys.
And the realities of finding charging points and so on. So what I propose is that you leave the wife and kids at home and I go to Scotland with you.
Well, we hadn't planned taking the kids with us.
Oh, right.
So you could...
I could be your child.
You could be the goose... Well, you wouldn't have to put a lot of effort into that, would you? You could be the gooseberry, the third wheel.
I could cope with that.
Yeah, we're going to put like little Airbnbs for like, for the two of us. You can sleep in this, it'll be great.
Yeah, that'll be grand. I'll buy a tent. Seriously, I love this. I absolutely love this.
So this is the for our viewers, this is Chesterfield, where we should see the Crooked Spire coming up very soon, shouldn't we? Have your viewers seen that much? Have you been in there much?
They have. I had to come into town a couple of weeks ago, and I did show them the Crooked Spire. We might not. Oh, there you are. Yeah, there you are.
I don't even know where McDonald's drive-through is around here.
It is right now. I get it. It's right on this island here.
Oh yes, where the old car park is. Was. Just pull into McDonald's car park and swap over.
Yeah.
If you want.
Actually, do it here. It'll save having to go in and out again.
Okay.
And you can actually park this car with one. Well, I mean, you can do it with one foot in any automatic, but you can do it. Oh, okay. I did touch the brake. Right. How do I stop?
Press P.
Press P.
And that's it.
Okay. D disappears. I can now take my foot off the accelerator, off the brake.
Yeah.
And to turn off, I would press this. Yeah.
Yep. And it'll bomb. And that's it.
Thank you so much. That was brilliant.
No problem.
I don't want to get out. I don't want to get into that seat.
That's all right.
I want to stay here.
So I'll take you around McDonald's, and then you can drive us back. There's good things driving a car with you, is it? I don't have to move the seat that much.
Exactly. Now, if you're watching this Jaguar, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but could I have mine in a different colour, please?
This red's growing on me. I didn't like it at first. I know I've always said red cars are faster.
Right.
That's a known fact.
That's anybody who's driven a Ferrari in Rosso would be well aware of that.
Red cars are faster. But I've never thought big red cars look particularly good. They just look a little bit out of place.
Yeah.
But this is growing on me. This really is. Right, let's go backwards.
Oh.
Yeah, the mirrors drop down as well.
Yeah, middle for diddle. You braked then, didn't you?
No.
Did you not?
No.
Gosh, the sensation is even more marked in the passenger seat than it is in the driver.
No, I've actually stopped a few feet before the line, but now I've braked. I find somebody did a traffic light Grand Prix as well.
There's not much on the road that would beat this.
No, there's not. I mean, if my TVR can get traction, which is rare,
yeah,
they're pretty much like for like. I think my TVR is about 4.8, this is about 4.5, but that's 4.8 with traction.
Yeah, this kind of turns power into traction, and the TVR turns power into noise and smoke.
Yeah. Right, here we are through the drive-through. What are you having? Big Mac meal, no cheese on the Big Mac, and extra pickle. I'm not going to remember that.
No, don't worry, I'll shout across.
Okay, order here. I'll have a crispy. Hello.
Hi, what can I get for you?
Can I have a McCrispy deluxe meal with a coffee, please?
Black coffee or white coffee?
White coffee, please.
Yeah, anything else?
Yeah.
Big Mac meal, please.
Yeah, what drink would you like for that?
Diet Coke, but can I have the Big Mac, no cheese, and extra pickles, please?
Yeah, anything else?
Yeah, can I have a side salad, please?
Yeah, anything else?
Can I have that with the balsamic dressing, please?
Sorry?
With the balsamic dressing?
Sorry?
Balsamic vinegar dressing?
I can give you some dressing, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Is that everything?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Would you like to know something more?
Okay. Look, charge points here.
Ah, yes.
So you will start noticing.
Do you have to pay to use those?
Yeah.
Ah.
So it's done through the app.
So who do you pay?
I just put my credit card onto the app, but it's my business card. Hello. Yeah.
So are you paying McDonald's or is that a third
No, that's
party
a third
company?
party. Okay, thank you.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
Can I just put it into bay one for me, please?
Okay. Which bay you want?
Good question. Oh, it's there.
Was this it?
This one here, right?
Oh yeah.
Would you?
What?
That one. Oh, God, old.
Yeah, sure. Right. While on film, talk to you a little bit about charging points, what I know about them.
Okay.
So I've got an app on my phone that my work has got Charge Point. That's the brand. So that's InstaVolt. There's lots and lots of different providers, but they are starting to work with each other now, so that you can. It's like Shell and BP.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a Shell card and a BP rewards card and all the rest of it.
Right.
It's kind of the same sort of business model. The app that I've got will tell me where these chargers are and whether they're plugged in or not. So we can see there's one plugged in over there. You can't see it on the film, but we can.
Oh, so you can actually see if it's free, if somebody's using it, or if it's free.
Correct.
Oh, right, brilliant.
Now, there's also a couple of different types of chargers. This has got a super fast charger attached to it, but not all charge bases like that are capable of delivering the full power.
Okay.
So again, I can search for ones if I just want a super fast charge.
Yeah.
The infrastructure is getting better. Certainly for out and about whilst driving and charging up. Like here we are at McDonald's. Now would be a perfect time just to plug in over there whilst we're waiting for this. We could sit and eat our McDonald's here like, you know, heathens.
Yeah.
Like Barry boys. But that's where it's this change of mindset where you don't have to go to a petrol station.
So,
you can charge up whilst you're...
What about cost? If we were to go and charge up there, what would it cost us?
I honestly don't know yet.
Oh, dear. Now, there's a rich man for you, my loves. He just waves his wallet at something. He's got no idea how much it costs.
Let's have a look. I'll see if it's got it on the app. Now, the reason I don't know how much it costs is because I'm fortunate enough to have a company fuel. My company pay for fuel, and then I just pay back whatever my personal mileage is at 16p a mile. So if I go into the Charge Point app...
You've got a lot of apps on that phone.
Yeah.
Ah.
So this tells me where we are.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, do you want, I can screen record this for you later.
Oh, okay.
And then, I think I've got a screen record somewhere. I've got it somewhere about. Yeah, screen recording. So we have got, I've actually got this set up so it's looking for
Fast chargers.
There's got a connector
and with
for
the
this.
correct connector.
Yeah.
Right. That's good.
So yeah, there's a couple dotted around. And then as we zoom out, we'll see more and more of them.
So that one, number 1, is that where we are now?
That
Oh no, it's not.
That's up at Morrison's, I think.
Yeah,
Morrison's.
Yeah. Morrison's.
It's not got a status on there, so it's not telling us whether it's plugged in or not. But it is a fast charger.
Right.
So again, this little bit tells you a little bit about what type of chargers it's got. It's not part of the Charge Point network, so that's why they don't have as much information on it.
Okay. So let's pick one that is part of the doings and see what info that gives us.
Right, that'll be a green one somewhere. Where is it? Okay, so there's a couple up here near Crystal Peaks.
Crystal Peaks.
Rother Valley Country Park.
There's never one there, surely.
Yep.
Oh, what? Gosh.
So.
Oh, and both available?
So these aren't community by Shell recharge. So here it is here. So it tells us 59p per kilowatt hour. Well, I've got a 90 kilowatt hour battery in this.
Right.
So 90 times 0.59 gives you an idea of how much.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
Hello.
Wonderful. Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you. Right, we all those.
Oh,
Yeah, I find that is a little bit
spiffy. Bizarrely, that's the same arrangement as the S-Type.
Is it?
Yeah, that's something that hasn't
The
changed.
Jaguar thing. So we've got the
So
price.
59 multiplied by 90.
Yeah,
So that's 90 times 54 quid.
about that. Yeah, for a full charge.
Okay.
Zoom out again.
Seems a little expensive.
Well, that's on a fast charge. You can charge it up cheaper but slower.
Right.
So for my little trip to Scotland later this week, you can see it's not going to be an issue finding a charge point.
It's not, is it? No, I can see that.
So the biggest issue at the moment with charging infrastructure, and this is after speaking to ChargePoint, is that the funding is available to buy those. The locations have been decided where they're going to go.
Right.
But everything, as you know, needs planning permission.
Yes.
And the delays caused by planning permission and the bureaucracy and the parish councils.
Right. And the NIMBYs.
Yeah, exactly that. The one up at up near IKEA in Sheffield, they started installing it and they found some World War II munitions. So they had to stop and do an archaeological dig, and that delayed that for another 3 months.
Gosh.
So the infrastructure is in place, and you know there's a lot of people much smarter and better qualified to talk about it than you or I, that are months and months, if not years ahead with the planning, but it's being held back by this bureaucracy.
Right.
So yes, it's right in the sense that people have got concerns that there's not as many charging, or the perception is there's not as many places to charge up as there is to fuel up. That's not quite right at the moment.
Okay.
There are a lot. I mean, here we are at McDonald's, there's 2 there.
Yeah.
We go to any supermarket, there's charge points. Most retail parks are getting charge points put in now. There is an issue with putting charge points in at petrol stations because of the high voltage electric and the petrol. They can't be within a certain distance, which is only really the much larger petrol stations can facilitate that. But it's not insurmountable.
Okay. We better clear up. We're in a
Yeah.
picky uppy spot, aren't we?
Yeah. Back to yours.
Yeah. It's a big treat for me. So, you know where you are, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, hello.
One SOS.
What's worth more, the car or the plate?
Oh, I think the car still. The plate's good. The car is exceptional.
What is that, a DB11?
It's a Volante, whatever it is, yeah. Don't think it's the Vantage.
They do look well in black, don't they?
And there's an electric Mustang up ahead.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. And orange. That's one.
Left-hand lane. So we're in a family 4-wheel drive SUV, and maybe we couldn't have him, but he'd struggle to get rid of us.
Yes.
Probably, I imagine, 0 to 60, not a million miles away from each other.
No, and again, it's probably going to come down to traction.
Yeah. they do an electric Range Rover yet?
It's a hybrid. It's
See, now there's the difference between your Aston Martin driver and your Jaguar driver. He just drives past the pedestrian, sod you, I'm more important. We are more humble. We paused and we allowed the pedestrian to cross. Oh, hello.
high maintenance,
Yeah, but...
but you would.
Oh, yeah. Twice.
Well, it'd be the most disappointing 20 seconds of your life, wouldn't it? And that includes the cigarette
I was
afterwards.
going to say that 20 seconds is pushing it for a man of my age.
Yeah, there's going to be charge points in there at Morrison, so most supermarkets do have them now.
Yeah, I don't... Oh, yeah, and there they are.
Yep. Right, I did brake there.
Bear in mind, this camera's up here.
Yeah. I think this does warn me on the dashboard. There's
does it?
coming up. Yeah, yeah, there it is.
I'm actually jealous of you driving to Scotland in this.
It will be interesting. I'm not going to lie, I've always been hesitant about taking an electric vehicle. The offer's been there at work a couple of years now. But just because of the mileage that I do and the nature of the job, I've just not been 100% confident that electric would work for me.
Yeah.
But we'll see, you know, this is sort of like a leisure trip to Scotland, so I'm not under any pressures. You know, time constraints, I'm just going to enjoy it. And learn from it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so I've just taken on that Ranger for 12 months, so that's not... It wouldn't be impossible to swap it, but I do like the Ranger.
That thing we went down to Richard's funeral in together, that was a hybrid, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the Mitsubishi Outlander. Caterer
Hello.
layout. Yeah.
Still the quickest vehicle I've ever driven.
Up to about 70, 80 miles an hour, yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't a Caterham, it was a one of three built by a company called Racecore. But again, a Lotus 7 replica to all intents and purposes, with a Mazda rotary turbo lump in there, fully tipped and ported.
See, before I bought the TVR, I was looking at, you know, what would be a good midlife crisis car, because that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Unashamedly so.
Well, you had yours early then, because you've had that TVR for what, 10 years? More?
More. 2000, end of 2009 I bought it, picked it up January 2010.
Right.
So he's coming up 13, 14 years. I looked at a lot of things like Porsche Boxster, Honda S2000, MGF, the spicy one, whatever, the VVTi was it?
VVC 160.
Yeah. MX5 because MX5.
Yeah, I've ticked that box.
And I did consider the Caterham, Westfield, Tiger, whatever, you know, the Lotus 7 alike.
Yeah.
I went to test drive a Westfield S8, so that's got the Rover V8, wide body, so I could fit in it.
Right.
The guy had twin turboed it.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that was, yeah, not brave enough, not going to lie. I thought, I know what it's like when I used to be on a mountain bike and it was a bit reckless. That thing was just brutally, once you got like 1500, 2000 RPM and the turbo started to spool up,
Yeah.
it would just light the wheels up in any gear at any speed.
No, I loved the Honda S2000.
That was another high revving car, wasn't it?
Yeah. Very high revving, yeah.
Nicely built, and it just felt nice, but just a little bit too small for me.
Right.
It's 2-lane, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, that's a shot.
Yeah, it's got passing power, hasn't it?
Oh my God. Yeah, that is an understatement, rather like Noah poking his nose out of the window and saying, looks like we might get a spot of rain. That was genuinely scary because there was a bend involved. You didn't scare me on either of the times before.
Yeah.
You did scare me then.
Sorry.
No, that's right.
I was confident I could see what was coming in, what space it was, but maybe a little bit more used to this than you are. But it's always a different experience in the passenger seat, isn't it?
That's exactly it. I wouldn't have been scared if I was driving.
Yeah, you would have done the same yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe in your own car rather than this if you're not used to it, but...
No, I'd have done it in this by now. Have you done a full bore on an empty road where you've got sufficient space to see how far you can go? I mean, that incredible surge we had up to miles an hour, how much longer would that go on for before it started
I think the
come up?
official top on this is about 125, 130.
But would it pull all the way there to?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Well, I know it'll, on a private road officer, it will pull to 110. Oh, sorry, just having a moment.
Ah, yeah.
Where were we?
I don't, well, who cares? We've just seen a
Yeah.
Series 2 E-Type
Flop top?
drop it. Do love an E-Type.
Yeah.
I'm going to be controversial though.
Hmm.
My favourite E-Type would be a Series 3 V12.
Later ones?
Yeah.
The cheaper ones?
And I know that's controversial. Well, the really early ones, the Series 1 flat floors, I don't really fit in them.
That's the problem with, yeah, tall guy problems, isn't it?
Boats would like to express his heartfelt appreciation to his amazing channel members. Alan Searle, Rosé Chicks, Typhoon Cat, Dinosaur Dad, Car Crazy Norwegian, Tricia Alderman, Neil Gibbon aka The Gibbonator, Classic Wheels Wall, John Moruzzi, Chef Daniel, Kevin Craven, Mark Pea, Frank G05, Richard Mahon, Black Lines, General Cheeseburger, Joe Cox, Ashley Stewart, Skik, Sons Vintage, Smashing Piston, Bravart Tina, Ali Mac Mechanical, Julie, Project Nigel, The Guardian of Forever, Captain Mustard, The Beige Bombay, Marc Persad, Carwiz JC, Sainte QLG, Arma, Rob Hedgehog, That Guy from SETI Alpha 5, Pingu Concorde, Everything Car, The Greenwood, Hookton Classics, GPS OMG, Bad Books, Jimmy Quinn, Sophie Richardson, Kevin Hugh, Big Tal Steve, Otter MG, Black Lines, John Studeley, Windy Miller, Caroline Ellis, Bernard, Chaz Brown, Mr. F, Humphrey Son of Boaty, Carlos TM and Rob Streetwise. Your support means the world to him, you're all fucking legends and he thanks you from the heart of his bottom. Thanks also to everyone who supported the channel in other ways with super chat, super thanks or just by watching the videos and leaving your knob alone when the advert come on. See you on the next video. Oh, and I'm not wearing any panties.
Mr. George Ratapati! Mr. George Ratapati! Mr. Ratapati! Mr. George Ratapati! Mr. Ratapati! Mr. George Ratapati!
Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.